Yes, people, a very happy with all of you. So, guys, we're doing this chapter called as accounting process, in which we have completed unit 1 and unit 2. Unit 1 was journal, that is rules of debit, credit, and journal. Unit 2 was ledger. So, in today's session, we'll be heading forward to unit 3, where I'll be discussing the concept of trial balance. So, guys, trial balance is the third segment of your accounting process. When I talk about the practical aspect of the accounting, in that first part is journal, second is ledger, third is trial balance. So let's skim through this process of accounting. Accounting process. Accounting is a systematic process of identifying what are we trying to identify? Business financial transaction or business financial event. And on what basis do you identify? Transactions can be identified on the basis of source document or evidences. Okay. Once you identify business financial transaction or event, you have to measure in terms of money. Measure in terms of money. See, already when I say financial transaction means what? Monetary term is involved. But here, monetary means there are multiple units of denomination. I might be dealing with dollars, I might be dealing with INR, I might be dealing with multiple currencies. Now, while recording, we have to ensure that we have common currencies, which is INR. So, if I have $1,000 and 70 rupees is the conversion rate, $1,000 into 70 is how much? 70,000 rupees is what the conversion value. That is what money measurement concept says. So, once you identify a business financial transaction and measure in terms of money, you have to start the recording. Recording happens in either journal or subsidiary book. Journal is called as book of original entry, also called as book of primary entry. Subsidiary book is called as books of original entry. Now the recording happens by following a couple of steps. I'm not going in depth again, but here the rule that you'll apply is either golden rule or modern rule. Predominantly the rule that you'll apply is modern rule. And when the recording is happening, you have to take care of one system. Which system? You have to take care of double entry system of accounting, which says what? Every transaction should have twofold impact, not account, twofold impact or aspect. In that one impact or aspect should be debit, another should be credit. And both the total of both the aspect, total of both the impact should be same, should be equal. Account can be 2 or more, minimum 2, but it can be more than that also. And all these transactions are recorded again on the basis of evidence. Okay. Now the format of the journal does not facilitate totaling, and for totaling purpose, all this transaction one more time we post in a place called as ledger. So the process of transferring the data from journal to ledger is called as posting. Now in this you classify the accounts. Which means all the transactions are recorded in a T-shaped format called as account, where you try to classify all the accounts. Now, one important point I'll tell you here. Journal is recorded in a chronological order. Means what? As and when the transaction takes place, you record it. So in journal transactions are recorded in chronological order. Whereas in ledger, the transactions are recorded in what order? Analytical order. Analytical order means what? Analytical means what? The word analytical is coming from which word? Analysis. So from the journal, you put your mind into it. You do an analysis that, okay, this is a transaction which is going to affect my cash account, bank account. So you classify them properly. So that is called as recording the transactions or posting the transaction in the ledger in analytical order. That is, you put a mind into it. You analyze that this transaction should go to which account. So as per that, you record it. I don't record in a chronological order. I record a transaction to the place where it belongs to. That is called as analytical order. So journal is recorded in a chronological order and ledger is recorded in the analytical order. You analyze your concept and based on that, you classify the transaction to respective ledgers. Clear at this point? Now, all the ledger having the balance brought down, on the debit side is said to have what balance? Debit balance. And all the items or all the ledger accounts which is having debit balance will go to the debit column of the trial balance. And all the ledger having the balance brought down on the credit side of the ledger accounts, these are said to have credit balance and these will go to the credit column of the trial balance. In the trial balance, we try to summarize all the data. So in cash account, if you see in cash account, there are multiple transactions recorded. So here what do we record? The summary of it means what is the balance of each ledger. The balance of each ledger is what is captured in your trial balance. So in trial balance, what do? We summarize all the accounts. Cash, total how much? Purchases, total how much? Sales, total how much? So we get a summary of each and every account. So summarizing begins with trial balance. Trial balance is prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy. To be more honest, trial balance helps us to understand if the transaction is recorded on double entry system or not. While recording the entries in journal or ledger, if the double entry is not maintained properly, then the trial balance will not tally. Second thing, in journal you follow double entry. While posting in the ledger also you followed double entry. But the ledger balance you have to pick and record where? In trial balance. No. In that, if one ledger also you forget to pick, trial balance will not tally. So these kind of errors, which is one-sided error, is being identified by preparing the trial balance. If the trial balance is not tallying, which means there are chances of one-sided error happening into it. About one-sided error or two-sided error, I'll be discussing in depth in the rectification of errors. Now, in the theory part, if you see, wherever this type of diagram is given, wherever this type of diagram is given, wherever the paragraph is given, you have to go through. In that, you have to see if there is any particular line which has got a potential of, from there where a true and false question could be formed or not, you have to have a look into it. If yes, then they have to underline that as important line. And wherever you have this type of questions, objective of preparing trial balance, you have to mark it whatever they say, like this objective, advantage, disadvantage, limitations of these and these items. You have to memorize. There's no other option because you might get a direct question. When I say memorize, don't memorize the entire theory. In that, understand what is the important line. For example, trial balance enables one to establish whether the posting and other accounting process have been carried out without committing arithmetical errors. So in this line, you have to understand that which are the keywords to remember. This line is emphasizing on what? Please tell me. Trial balance is prepared to know whether the posting and other accounting process has been carried out without committing arithmetical errors. So this point is focusing on what? While doing the trial balance preparation, if there is any arithmetical errors, about that we get to know. So you are free to form the sentence grammatically in your own language. Grammatically, you can form your own sentence, but keywords cannot be deviated. So I'm not telling you to by heart the entire paragraph as it is. Not required. But in that, there are keywords. Understand the keywords, understand the presentation of that language, and try to repeat that. Formation of the sentence could be on your own, but keywords cannot be missed out. If you miss out the keywords, you will not get the marks. Am I loud and clear? So you might get a question, what is the objective of preparing trial balance? So in that, if it is 4-mark question, 4 points you have to write. 4 points you have to write. Just because it's a 4-mark question, don't sit and write 4 pages. In school and college, 4 marks means 4 pages. Here, not like that. Here, if 4 marks, whatever is asking, exactly that crisp data you're presenting, you get 4 marks. Even if 4 lines you're writing, what he is expecting and what you're supposed to write, then you'll get proper 4 marks. You might get a question, what are the limitations of trial balance? Bullet points, if you write more than sufficient. Now coming to this. Methods of preparation of the trial balance. Sir, methods of preparation of trial balance? There's only one method. No. We have 2 methods in which the trial balance could be prepared. One part was never covered in the syllabus in 11th and 12th. Now it is covered for the very first time in your CA foundation. There are 2 methods in which the trial balance could be prepared. One is called as total method and second is called as balance method. In your school, you have studied balance method. Now, what is total method? I'll explain you. It's a useless method. Practically, we don't follow it, but we have in our syllabus. Question can come based out of this. So I have no other choice but to teach. But that is useless method. Nobody follows that. I'll read the theory, this paragraph, but I don't expect you to understand. Okay. But still I'll read it. I'll explain it practically. Then I'll come back and read the theory. That time theory will make sense. Now let's see. Under this method, every ledger account is total. Every ledger account is total. You understand what is the meaning of totaling? Ledger account, cash account, debit side will total, credit side will total. So we'll just do the totaling. We'll not do balancing. We'll do the totaling of both the sides. And that total amount of both the debit and credit side is transferred to trial balance. Oh my God. So far, what do we transfer to trial balance? The balance brought down is transferred to the trial balance. Here we're not transferring the balance. The total of the debit will go to debit column of trial balance. Total of credit will go to the credit column of the trial balance. In this method, trial balance can be prepared as soon as the ledger account is total. Time taken to balance the ledger accounts is saved under this method as balance can be found out in trial balance itself. The difference of the total of each ledger account is the balance of that particular account. This method is not commonly used. This method is not commonly used for the preparation of the financial statement. Only net balance of the ledger account is required. Therefore, the trial balance is compiled under this method cannot be used directly for the preparation of financial statement. Then why should I study this? Correct? No, starting itself I told you. Now, I'll do one question. Then we'll come back and read this theory point. Each and every line I'll read it. Because when I was explaining the first line, no, everybody was about to understand. Because my explanation got supporting with your understanding. Now, the moment I read it fast, your face gave me an idea that you didn't understand. That made me happy. So I'll do practical question, then I'll come back and read this line. Given below is the ledger extract relating to the business of X & Co. Who's the client here? X & Co. As on 31st March 22. So which financial year data is this? 21, 22. You are required to prepare trial balance by total amount method. Total amount method. You are required to prepare the trial balance by total method. Total method. Now, cash account is given. Furniture account is given. Salary account is given. Sham's account, purchase return account, Ram's account, sales account, sale return account, capital account. Big list. Now, in the total method, what they do now? Very simple. Transactions what are recorded. These are all the transactions recorded. Don't see the balance now. 7,500, don't see the balance. Please take your calculator. Do the total of debit and tell me how much. This looks like 35,500 only. Do the total of the credit side. How did you do? ऐसे cheating नहीं करना, वापस करो. Now 3,000 plus 2,500 plus 21,000 plus 1,000 plus 500. She's using analytical mindset. How much? 28? Round 28,000? Okay. And here it is 35,500. Okay, super. I'm saving time for you. Now, balance, forget it. How much here? 3,000. So which means nothing is there on the credit side. Nothing is there on credit side. What are we doing? Normal total. Before balancing, what do we do? Total now. That total only I'm doing. Am I teaching anything new? No. Salaries account total. Which side? Debit side 2,500. Credit side 0. Here also I'm putting 0. Now Sham's account. Here 25,000 and this side 21,500. Any problem? Anything difficult here? No. Purchase account 0 and here it is 26,000. Online people, are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sundries as per purchase return book 500 and this is 0. Ram's account 30,000 here and here it is 25,100. Sales account 30,500 in the debit total and credit total is 3,500. It is balancing on both sides automatically. So this is natural balancing of the ledger. No? Oh my God, sir, this is 0, sir. Actually, this juice started exciting me. So my focus is fully going on the juice only. Now 3,500. Okay. Sales return account. Credit 0, debit is 100. Capital account. 500 here in debit side, credit side 10,000. Any problem? No problem. Now, all of you take a fresh page. This is question number 1. Write heading trial balance of X & Co as on 31/3/2022. Fast. I'll enjoy this. What is this? Huh? Most of me just in bathroom. From where did you get such a dirty juice? I'm hungry. நீ வேணா டேஸ்ட் பண்ணி பாருமா, நான் சத்தியமா சொல்றேன். நம்ம மாத்திரை மருந்து போட்டு தொண்டையில எப்படி இருக்கும் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு எனக்கு. ஐயோ. Anyways, come back. Trial balance written. Now, first column serial number, then name of account or heads of accounts. Name of account or heads of accounts. Total debit, total credit. If you don't write rupees, no, I will deduct mark. I'm telling you in test. Rupees is very important. I mean, I means my team will deduct. I'm the marriage children. Okay. Any problem? Over. Now, which is the first ledger? Tell me. Cash ledger. Now, what is the total of cash here? I'll do one thing. I'll open one more PDF so that I don't have to do up and down. Which donkey fellow is using blue pen? Now, please write number 1. Write cash account. Don't write cash and leave. It is cash account. How do you write it? Debit side total is how much? 35,500. So record this total in the debit column and record 28,000 in credit column. So 35,500, 28,800. Now, can I say on the credit side there's a shortfall by 7,500? Credit side there's a shortfall of 7,500. So like that, this 7,500, there could be a shortfall in debit side somewhere else in some other account. If there is a shortfall in one place, the shortfall of this will be there impacting in some other debit place also. So what இடத்துல minus அப்படினா இன்னொரு இடத்துல there will be one more minus and this minus that minus will balance it. I'll make you understand now, don't worry. Next, 3,000 in debit, 3,000 in debit, nothing in credit. 3,000 in debit, nothing in credit. So what is the difference here? 3,000. Now, difference. You don't believe me, no, that this will be gone. I'll prove it. Put difference column. Debit means plus, credit means minus I'm taking. Okay, wow. Now, 35,000 minus 28,000, net is positive or negative? Debit is positive, credit is negative. Assume that. So 35,500 minus 28,000 is how much? Positive 7,500. Okay. Then 3,000 minus 0 is how much? Positive 3,000. Put difference column also. Any problem? No problem. Next, salary. Debit side total is 2,500. Credit side is 0. So record 2,500 here and credit side 0. Net difference is positive or negative? Positive how much? 2,500. Okay. Then Sham. Here. Varun, I'm teaching. Sham, debit side 21,500. Credit side 25,000. 21,500 in debit column, 25,000 credit side. If I minus now, it is negative 3,500. Negative 3,500. Next, purchase account. Total how much? Debit side 26,000, credit side 0. So debit column 26,000, credit column 0. So 26,000 minus 0 is how much? Positive 26,000 or plus 26,000. Okay. Next, purchase return account. Credit side 500, debit side 0. Debit column 0. Credit column 500. So 0 minus 500 is minus 500. Next, Ram's account. Debit column 30,000. Credit column 25,100. Debit column 30,000. Credit column 25,100. If I take the difference, what is the net amount? Positive or negative? Positive 4,900. Okay. Next is sales account. Debit side 0. Credit side 30,500. 0 minus 30,500. So it is going to be minus 30,500. Next, sales return. Debit 100, credit 0. Debit 100, credit 0. So net amount is positive 100. Last is capital. Debit 500, credit 10,000. Debit 500, credit 10,000. So negative 9,500. I want all of you to total the difference column and tell me how much is the difference coming. How much is the difference coming? Darshana, where is your calculator, ma? Very good, very good. Huh? Zero. Now only got to know zero. Huh? By adding minusing. Oh my God. Donkey fellow. How the difference will come first of all? 1,19,100 minus 1,19,100. The difference will be what? Zero only, no? If difference is there, which means what? The double entry is not followed. Single entry is followed. So now, if there is a deficiency of the 7,500 in the credit, means corresponding place also deficiency will be there, no? For example, let's say cash account. If I'll take one example on the board. Cash to capital, let's say 10,000 rupees. I'm opening two accounts. One is cash account, another is capital account. What is the posting in cash account? So to capital 10,000, and in capital by cash 10,000. So total is how much here? 10,000 in the credit side, 0 in the debit side. For cash, debit side 10,000, credit side 0. Now I'm opening the trial balance. So one account is cash account, second is capital account. Debit column, credit column. So cash debit column is 10,000, credit column is 0. In capital, debit column is 0, credit column is 10,000. Difference. 10,000 minus 0 is positive 10,000. 0 minus 10,000 is negative 10,000. So here I have a shortfall of 10,000 now in credit. So in the next transaction, I have a shortfall in debit now. So one shortfall is compensated by another shortfall in another place. I'm talking about in this method. I'll be able to follow. So technically, the difference cut total will always be 0. Am I clear? This is useless method. You will not get any practical question based on this. Since it is there in the syllabus, it's my responsibility to explain. Any problem in this? In case if they ask in exam. Because CA Institute is always like, judge me and I'll prove you wrong. Never ever this question came in exam. What if this attempt it comes January? Correct, no? You will thank me. So, Devame, you have given this exam. In that this question came. Full 5 marks I got. Other people, what total method? My sir, nobody taught us. Because nobody pays heed to this concept. Everybody leave this in choice. So one fine day when question comes from this particular concept, no, that time I'll speak. Today, I can't do anything. It is a part of syllabus. We have to learn. Any problem in this? No problem. Concept is clear. Now here they record the total of the debit, total of the credit. Difference is nothing but the balance carried down. Balance brought down. So in one side, if credit side have a balance, same corresponding impact will be there on the opposite side, debit side. So in this, it is difficult to understand. That's why I took only one particular transaction and I made you understand through this. In this, if you have any doubts, please ask me now. In this, if you have any doubts, please ask me now. No doubts? Okay. Now coming back to the theory. Now it will make sense. Under this method, every ledger account is total. That's what we did. We did the total of debit, total of credit. Every ledger account is total, and that total amount, both on debit and credit side, is transferred to trial balance. That's what we did. In this method, trial balance can be prepared as soon as the ledger account is total. The moment I totaled it, I transfer the data to trial balance. Did I wait for balancing? No. So as soon as the ledger is prepared, as soon as the ledger is totaled, you can prepare the trial balance. I don't have to wait till balancing. So balancing is extra step. I don't have to wait for that extra step. Time taken to balance the ledger is saved under this method. What is the advantage of this method? We save time for balancing. What a time saver. So this can come as a MCQ question. Sorry, not MCQ, true and false. What is another method? Balance method. Okay. In the balance method, we save time by not balancing the ledger. True and false. In which method you save? Total method. Now, if at all a practical question cannot come, but what can come? Three theory question, that is true and false, can come. Very good. So now please take a highlighter or paper, not paper, pencil, highlight this point. In this, the advantage is that we save time. Time saved. What time are you saving? Time taken to balance the ledger is being saved. Time taken to balance the ledger is being saved. Any problem? Any problem? Okay. Time taken to balance the ledger account is saved under this method, as the balance can be found out in the trial balance itself. So how do you get the balance? The difference column, what we calculated, no, that itself is the balance. The difference of the total of each ledger account is the balance of that particular account. The difference of the total of each ledger. So the total of ledger, total of this ledger and total of this ledger, that is both same ledger. If I take the difference is the balance carried on and balance brought down. This method is not commonly used for the preparation of financial statement. Only net balance of the ledger account is required. Therefore, the trial balance complied under this method, because for the purpose of preparing the financial statement, what do I need? I need the balance of the ledger, and this ledger does not give me the balance. So how can I use this for the purpose of preparing the financial statement? Therefore, the trial balance compiled under this method cannot be used directly for the preparation of the financial statement. So whenever I feel I'm bored, I don't have any time, I'm sitting jobless, I'm sitting useless, that time I'll take this trial balance, I'll start preparing this trial balance. Otherwise, not required. Okay, not okay? Sarcasm also people don't understand. Ayyo.
सर दोनों में एक ही आंसर
हाँ ना वही है.
सर अगर हम इस मेथड में डेबिट क्रेडिट
English.
in this method we take debit credit and balancing one more column then we get balance.
Correct. We're not doing this difference column. I did out of my own interest.
If we add the balance column in this method,
Then there is no difference between that and this method. No, both are same. That's why I said this is useless method. Time pass methods. Somebody, I don't know, whoever gave this concept, one fine day was sitting vetty. He didn't know what to invent. In the laboratory, he was sitting vetty. He was like, I want to invent something in accounts. He invented this concept. Otherwise, for me, it doesn't make any sense. So can I continue? Next is balance method. This is what is important method. Under this method, every ledger account is balanced. And those balances are only carried forward to the trial balance. So when I prepare the draft trial balance 1, in that all the ledger will have balance, including nominal account. Because I want to know the total of both the trial balance, whether the double entry is followed or not. For that purpose to check, I have to transfer all the balances once at least to trial balance. Then once I start preparing the financial statement, I'll start passing the closing entry. Once I start passing the closing entry, the ledger balances of nominal account will get closed. And after that, if you prepare trial balance, that is after passing the closing entry, if you again prepare the trial balance, that time in the trial balance, what will be appearing? Asset, liability, capital, and the net profit from the P&L account will be appearing. If at all net profit, you don't add it to capital, the net profit will be separately available in your trial balance. Trial balance like this also can be existing. In your intermediate, you'll be given this trial balance. Which trial balance? With asset, liability, capital, and net profit into it. And they'll ask you to prepare directly balance sheet out of it. Which means what? P&L they've already prepared. Then they gave trial balance. With this trial balance, you're supposed to prepare the balance sheet. So this process you have to understand. That is very difficult to explain. So in basics itself, if I explain, there the concept will be strong when I come to inter. This method is used commonly by accountants. This method is what has been used by the accountants, means chart accountants, and help in the preparation of the financial statement. Financial statement are prepared on the basis of the balances of each ledger. Correct? Whatever the ledger balance is there, you'll transfer to trial balance, and that trial balance balance is what is transferred to your trading P&L and balance sheet. So this is what is the applicable method. Taking the same information given in illustration 1, prepare the trial balance as per the balance method. So take a fresh page. Record heading one more time. Trial balance of X & Co as at 31st March 22. Now what will you do? They have given the ledger. So what will you take now? Balances. Wonderful. Sir, cash ka balance cut down is coming on credit side, sir. So this is the credit balance of the ledger, sir. So this will go to the credit column of trial balance, sir. Tell like that. Tell who's that? Who's wanting to tell that? Arun, you want to tell? No. When I transfer this to trial balance, which balance I will see? Carried down or brought down? Brought down. So can I do the brought down now? Balance brought down. How much is balance brought down? 7,500. This is appearing in which side of trial balance? Sorry, which side of ledger? Debit side. So what balance it becomes? Debit balance it becomes. So it goes to your debit column of the trial balance. So cash account, debit column, 7,500. So based on the balance brought down, you decide whether it is debit balance or credit balance. Similarly, next is what? Furniture. Furniture, Carried down is on the credit side. So brought down will come on debit side. So this is what balance? Debit balance. So furniture, debit balance 3,000. Which Mahatma says salary is nominal account, sir. This balance will not go to trial balance. We are preparing draft trial balance 1. In that, all the nominal ledgers will be appearing. So now balance carried down on which side? Credit side. Brought down debit side 2,500. So brought down balance is coming on debit side. So what balance? Debit balance. All the expenses as per modern rule, what balance? Debit balance. All the assets as per modern rule, what balance? Debit balance. Sham's account. Sham's account. Now Sham is debtor or creditor, I don't know by name. Can you tell? Can you predict who Sham debit and debtor or creditor? So how do you know this account is an account of debtor or creditor? We have to receive money or pay money. Looking at the balance. Now if the balance carried down is coming on debit side, then balance brought down will come on credit side, 25,000. Which means what? This ledger is having credit balance. All the credit balance is what? Liability. All the credit balance is liability in case of personal account. If it is income, then credit balance will also come. But Sham's account is not income account. So this is a liability holder. So I have to pay 25,000 to Sham in future. Any problem? So this will go to the credit column. 3,500 in the credit column. Purchase. Brought down balance debit side. How much? 26,000. Purchase. Brought down balance 26,000 on debit side. It becomes debit balance. It will go to debit column of the trial balance. If purchase is debit balance, always purchase return will be ulta opposite of that. Purchase return is going to be credit balance by default. If sale is credit balance, sales return will be ulta debit balance. If capital is credit balance, drawings will be debit balance. They are all jodi, opposite to each other. Drawdown is coming on credit side, so this becomes credit balance. Ram account, please tell me, by name, can you say Ram is debtor or creditor? Not possible. Only by looking at the balance. So balance brought down is coming on which side? It is coming 4,900 debit side. Means what? It is debit balance. All the assets have debit balance. All the assets have debit balance. So we'll go to debit column of trial balance. Can you finish the rest of the 3? Fast. Done? Like that, I recorded the remaining 3 balances. At the end, the total should match. If this total is not matching, which means either while recording journal entry, double entry system is not followed, or while posting, double entry is not followed. What could be the possible mistake in a way that the trial balance cannot tally? At journal stage, what could be the possible mistake? Ram account debit 3,000 recorded, but what to record in credit you forgot. You didn't record it. So what entry is this? Double entry or single entry? Single entry. This mistake cannot happen in today's scenario if you're doing accounting in software, because in software, unless and until you write the debit and credit, the entry will not be posted. This was a problem in the olden days while following the manual accounts. So my accountant will record bank account debit. He knows that this much money came into bank account, but who gave this money? He doesn't know. So he will go and ask each and every department person, this money came from whom. By the time he gets to know whom, he'll forget to record the credit part. So one-sided amount you recorded, second side you didn't record. So trial balance will not tally. So in journal, this mistake can happen. In ledger, what mistake can happen? In ledger, let's say cash and capital. Cash account, capital account. Both the amount of 10,000 I recorded where? Debit side. Both in debit side, nothing in credit. So debit ka total is how much? 20,000. 10,000 in debit plus 10,000 in debit. 20,000. In credit, it is 0. Total not matching. So you recorded the amount, both the amounts in same side. Or 10,000 in cash properly recorded. In capital recorded 15,000. You recorded a wrong amount in capital account. Side is correct, account is correct, but amount is wrong. So now the total of the debit will be 10,000 and the total of credit will be 15,000. So these are the mistakes which can lead to trial balance not tallying. So if trial balance does not tally, these mistakes could be identified. Means one-sided errors could be identified. Am I clear? Now please tell me, trial balance is tallying here. Whenever the trial balance tallies, Kumaran, whenever the trial balance tallies, is it a conclusive proof? Is it a conclusive evidence that the account is 100% correct? I'm telling that your trial balance is tallying on both the sides, 44,000, 44,000. I'm telling, so this trial balance is pakka 100% right. Can you say yes? No. There are some errors which will happen and that will still lead to tallying of the trial balance. For example, error of complete omission. One journal entry completely omitted. In debit also I didn't record. Credit also I didn't record. Are you able to follow? I'm telling you for this one transaction, I gave 10,000 more capital. So 10,000 I'm recording more where in the capital account. It became 19,500. And 10,000 in cash means 17,500. Now if you total, the total is 54,000, 54,000. Are you able to follow what I'm trying to say? I'm saying that 10,000 introduced as capital in form of cash. So cash will increase by 10,000. So 10,000 means became 17,500. 7,500 plus 10,000 is how much? 17,500. Capital is already 9,500 plus 10,000 is how much? 19,500. Now what is the total? 54,500. This should be the actual total. This should be the actual total. 54,000 should be the actual total. Now what I did is, this transaction of 10,000 is there. No, I omitted. I didn't even record. So instead of 17,500 is going to be 7,500. Instead of 19,500 it is going to be 9,500. Total also is matching. Now can you say this trial balance is correct? How it is correct? One entire transaction is omitted. How can this be correct? So tallying of the trial balance. Tallying of the trial balance is not a conclusive evidence that this account is 100% correct. So single-sided mistake could be identified by trial balance. Double-sided mistake cannot be identified by preparing trial balance. For that, you have to do checking of the accounts called as auditing. Only by auditing, you will get to know the mistake of double-sided errors. Am I loud and clear?
Yes.
Any problem so far? Online people, am I loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Illustration 3. This is homework, but I want to discuss with you that which item will go to which column. Before that, we always say in modern rule, no, sir, asset have what balance? Debit balance. Liability or capital have credit balance. Now can you tell me why? Why this asset is always having debit balance? Why capital always having credit balance? Because the rule is designed in such a way. What is your golden rule says? Cash to capital. Cash is what? Real account. Cash is real account. Debit what comes in? If cash is coming in, debit. So you open the cash account. Debit side you record to capital 10,000. Carry down 10,000. Brought down 10,000. So why is always asset is debit balance? Because the rule is designed in such a way that whenever asset is coming into picture or whenever his asset is coming inside, what is the rule saying? Debit, debit, debit. So what balance will it have? Credit balance will it have? No. If you debited, debit only it will have. A plus item will have what balance? Plus only, no. By that virtue, always asset ends up having debit balance. I'll be able to follow. Same way, capital account is what? Natural personal account. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Who's giving? Opposite person is giving. Always personal account from whose point of view? Opposite party's point of view. Credit the giver. So buy cash, how much? 10,000. So carry down 10,000, brought down 10,000. So rule says that to increase capital credit. So what balance will it have? Naturally will have credit balance. It is fixed. If the rule is changed, sir, when asset comes in, if you credit, then what happens? The asset becomes credit balance. But we can't change the rule, no. Are you able to follow? So it is decided, it is fixed that we will not change this. Asset will always have debit balance. To increase asset, what will I do? Debit. To decrease asset, credit. To increase liability, credit. To decrease liability, debit. Same applies for expense and revenue also. So this rule we can't change. Am I clear? No energy. I'm going. Bye. No, I'm going. Bye. I'm going. You take class. You enjoy. I'm going. I'll go. Third question. From the following ledger balances, prepare a trial balance of Anuradha Traders as on 31st March 2022. Which financial year? Loudly. Open your mouth and respond. Loudly. Some people. Where is the speaker, man? I'm asking question, which financial year? If I teach like this, will you enjoy? How do you think I'll sit and enjoy from this side? Open. Speaker volume is less. Increase it. My throw voice was not this loud. Donkey fellow, after I started teaching job, after I started teaching all of you, my voice has become so loud that even if at home I talk, no, the person in ground floor can hear my voice. If I normally talk, people feel that I'm shouting. My wife will be sitting here. I'll call as if she's sitting there. All because of whom? You guys only. Correct? No? If I'm suffering so much, little bit can't you suffer? By loudly responding. Okay. Still, I've not drank this. Imagine how bad it is. Now, capital. Capital, what balance? Huh? Credit balance. Okay. So you'll go to which column? Trial balance. Credit column. Sales. Credit. Purchases. Debit. Very good. Online people. Good evening. Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For us, it is like watching movies, sir. Anybody eating popcorn also simultaneously? No, then answer. Sales return. Debit. Credit. Who said credit? Debit. Sale. Credit. Sale return, debit. Sale return belongs to which family? Sale family only. But it is opposite. If sale is credit, sale return will be debit balance, always debit balance. Discount allowed. What is it? Expense, gain, income, loss. What is it? It's a loss. But what category? Expense category. So all the expenses are debit. Expenses, debit. Trade receivable. Sir, credit, sir. Debit? Okay. No? Confirm? Okay. Sir, trade payable. Credit, sir. Credit? Credit. Okay. Creditor. Liability. Okay. Investment. Asset. Debit. Cash at bank and in hand. Asset. Debit balance. Interest received on investment. Income. Income is credit balance. Who said debit? Interest received. Income. You focused on investment. Main hero with money. Interest received. It is income. Credit balance. Insurance paid. Expense. Debit balance. Can I take this as homework? Okay. Not for me. Now. Yes. This will do now. One of your clients, Mr. Singhania, has asked you to finalize his accounts for the year ended 31st March 22. Which financial year? 21-22. Till date, he himself has recorded all the transactions in the books of accounts. Then ask him to finalize. No, then why is he coming to us? Finalize. Now some client will come like this only. Everything I'll do. You just do the filing work. How much will you pay? 1,000 rupees I'll pay. If you do the entire work, you can charge 12,000. In the 11,000, he itself ate away. 1,000 is giving us. Poor fellow, what will I do as an auditor? May 1, salary should be paid to staff. Dud is not coming properly on time. This is the biggest problem of all the entrepreneurs. Till date, he himself has recorded the transaction in the books of accounts as a basis of or as a basis for audit. You are the basis of his audit. Mr. Singhania furnished you with the following statement. Okay. What is he giving? He's selling Singhania's capital, credit. Okay. This is how you have to check. Singhania's drawing, debit, right or wrong? If capitalist credit balance, drawings is opposite of that always. Debit balance. No problem, no? Okay. Leasehold premises. This premises is on rent. It's called as leasehold premises. Any premises that we take on rent is called as leasehold premises. This is more in polished manner. Rental premises are local at sounds. Leasehold premises means how polished we are saying. Leasehold premises means we don't get that feeling that we are sitting on a rented premises. Leasehold premises, rent pa, 750. Debit column, right or wrong? Right, no? Arey Baba, you have to check whether this bugger has done the accounting properly or not. Because he's doing all the accounting by himself. And moreover, he's not studied from Prathik sir also. He doesn't know modern rule also. Gold rule, 50-50 you would have studied in 11th and 12th. Now, with that knowledge, he's studying and preparing trial balance. So you have to check now whether this trial balance is right or wrong. That is what we're checking. Sales is recorded on the credit 2750. Right or wrong? Right. Dues from customer means what? Dues from customer. I have to receive the money due from customer. Money is due from customer. I have to receive. Anything that I receive in future is asset. Asset is what balance? Matnana. Inge patiya is put in credit column. Donkey fellow. That's why we say going to Pratik sir's classes compulsory. Even if you're doing business in future, basic 11th and 12th pakka should be done from here only. This is right or wrong? Wrong. Purchases, expenses, debit balance, right. Blue le tick panna kick varadu. We should do in red. You know? Suddenly kick comes. Purchase return. Purchase is debit means return is always opposite. So you should in which column? Credit column. This donkey fellow, where is he recorded? Debit column. Wrong. See what a feeling this gives. Blue doesn't give that kick. Ding, 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 ding. Loan from bank. Loan taken from bank. I have to repay in future. Anything that I have to repay in future is liability. Liability is what balance? Trade balance. Perfect. Credit column. Trade payable. I have to receive. I have to receive. Look at him. Debit column is put. Debit balance. As you have to receive. From the creditor, you will receive goods also. From him himself, you'll ask money also. But on gunpoint, oh, give me goods, give me money both. He gave goods now. He doesn't have the money. On the gunpoint, I'll give you tomorrow. So trade payable, that is how it is coming on debit. Donkey fellow. Wrong. It should go to which column? Credit column. Trade expenses. Correct? Okay. Cash at bank. Correct. Bills payable. Bills payable. Liability. Liability what balance? Credit balance. Which column? Credit column. Salary and wages. Expenses. Debit balance. Correct. Inventory. 1421. Which financial year? Which financial year? 21, 22. 1421 inventory. Opening stock. Which should come which side? Debit side. My question to all of you. Opening inventory. Opening stock nature. Income, expense, gain, loss, asset, liability. Tell me what it is. I am not asking extra question and all. Inge. Either 264 is asset, liability, capital, income, expense, gain, loss. Expense. Asset. 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 Expense. Asset. Asset. Expense. Asset. Expense. Asset. 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 Expense. Asset. Okay. Online people, all those who say this inventory here is asset. Raise your hands. In meeting, raise your hands. Niyasha says asset. Anjana asset. Hemashri asset. Solominal asset. Okay. Barney asset. Yashaswini asset. Okay. Keep your hands down. Those who say expense, raise your hands. Keep your hands down. Those who say expense, raise your hands. Darshini expense. Nancy. Others. Only one person said expense. Oh my God. Ria says expense. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This inventory is on 1421 inventory. 1421 inventory, how can it be expense? Opening stock becomes expense only when this entire amount is sold and transferred to your trading account. In the trading account, two opening stock which comes from 264. This comes because of the closing entry. Only when I pass the closing entry, it is a conclusive proof that this has now become your expenditure. So the opening stock which is coming in your trading account is your expense. Now you have not started preparing your trading account. This is the inventory on 1421. So any inventory which is there on 1421 in the beginning of the year, it is asset. Inventory is nothing but unsold goods of the last year. Closing inventory of last year becomes the opening inventory of current year. So on 1421, I asked specifically on 1421, what is inventory? It is asset. Why? Because the stock is there in a godown. You own it. Anything that you own is asset. By the time you come to end of the year, this opening stock will be sold. If you're a shopkeeper, if any customer is asking you a new product, let's say he's coming and buying chocolates from you, will you give from opening stock or from new purchases? Common sense says what? I'm a chocolate dealer. Customer is coming and asking chocolate. Will I take from the opening stock and give the chocolate, or will I take from the new purchases and give? Obviously opening stock, because if I don't give opening stock, if I keep it pending, it'll get expired. So obviously old stocks I want to first clear, then I'll take from the new purchases. So all the opening stock is sold. Once the opening stock is sold, this becomes your expenditure. In satisfaction of which principle? Matching principle. So this where will I discuss in depth one more time? Final accounts. Here I just touched to see whether you know the basics properly or not. This I'll be discussing in depth. Opening stock and closing stock. In depth I'll be discussing final accounts. Am I clear? So opening stock, unless it is sold, it is asset. Once it is sold, it becomes your expenditure. Okay, so technically this should come in a debit column, being asset. So it should come here. It is put in the credit column, which is wrong. Rent rate, correct or wrong? Correct. Sales return. Sales return. Sale is credit balance. Sale return is opposite of that. Which balance? Debit balance. So this should come to debit column, but it is sitting in the credit column. Oh my God. He's perfectly tallied a trial balance also given. So just because the trial balance is tallying, we declare that this trial balance is 100% correct. Whatever accounting Singhania has done is perfect, sir. Leave it, sir. It is correct, sir. Can we leave it? Gone. So what are you supposed to do? Rectify the trial balance. Because if you don't rectify the trial balance, you cannot prepare your financial statement properly. That also will be wrong. So now please draft the revised trial balance. And point to be noted, the closing inventory on 31st March 22 was valued 574. Mr. Singhania claims that he has recorded every transaction correctly as the trial balance is tallied. Check the accuracy of the above trial balance. Checking is done in two ways. Now this checking, what we have done is one type of checking. With this checking, we got to know few mistakes which is looking apparent on the trial balance. Now there could be some other error which will be still existing, which is not visible to our eyes. That will be known only by auditing. Only when you check the accounts properly, that time we will get to know that mistake. So here at this level, I can find out this much mistake only. You can find out this much mistake only. If you want to further, or if Singhania wants to know further if there is any mistake or not, he has to give you the entire audit assignment, which will run for several thousands of rupees. If he's giving that money, you will do that work. Otherwise for 1,000 rupees, this much only. You have to tell this to Singhania. Okay. Now, closing inventory, what to do, boss? So closing inventory is assets, sir. We'll bring it inside the trial balance debit column, sir. Tell. 11th, we have discussed this concept where in final accounts, when a closing inventory will come in the trial balance and when it will not come. Adjustment. If adjusted purchase is given, then closing stock will come within trial balance. Nicely by hearted. Super. That's what people, correct. School said that only. Closing stock will come in trial balance when if adjusted purchase is given. Here what is given? Purchase is given. The word adjustment is missing. Then closing stock should not come here. If purchase is given and closing stock is given in adjustment, then closing inventory should not come in trial balance. That's what the teacher said. No, it's not like that. What analysis you gave, the conclusion, the final answer, what you said is correct. But how that you derived, how that came into mind? If adjusted purchase means it should come in the trial balance, which closing stock? Closing stock should come inside the trial balance in adjusted purchase. How did you know this? When there's no adjusted purchase, only normal purchase is there. That time closing stock will be outside. Teacher said no. How? On what basis? 11th, 12th college, if you don't know the reasoning, no problem. But once you become a CA or once you are studying for CA course, you need to have why. You need to have the answer for every why questions. So about closing inventory, when it comes in trial balance, when it does not come in trial balance, this I'll be discussing exclusively only in the final accounts, where I'll be doing the adjustment entries. While doing the adjustment, I'll make you understand how this will impact your trial balance. So as of now, I'm not discussing much. Now, just remember, closing stock is outside trial balance. Let it be outside trial balance. Let it see the VDK from outside. We'll play inside. Okay. Okay. So you're also like doing like school teacher, not explaining. What did I say? I'm not explaining here, but I explain in final accounts. Now, please prepare the rectified trial balance. Rectified or corrected trial balance of Mr. Singhania as on 31st March 22. Please write the heading. You want my help or you can manage? Manage it, do it fast. Now, right now. All that we have marked wrong will go to opposite side. So if due from customer is in credit, it will go to debit column. Just ulta you have to put. Fast. Mia, where is your calculator, ma? Back, take it out. You've ordered it to come? Okay. Kana, where is your calculator? There? Okay. You have it? Right? Ordered. Okay. You kept it at home, no, ma? Okay. Keep it there itself. Ordered. Okay. You come by this week. It'll come? Okay. The problem with this book is it is extreme. Either it is samma sappa or next level tough. The in between bridging level question is not even there. That's why I take always the help of Teaser book. Best book it is. Anybody switched off the AC there? Donkey fellow. Who is that? AC. என்ன பண்ணோம் குளிர் அடிக்குதுன்னா ஜாக்கெட் போட்டு வரணும் இல்லையா இங்க கார்னர்ல வந்துடணும் இல்லையா you make it to quanta mode. You make it to quanta mode, the flap will go up. So what will happen is no all of you culprit. He has done the only job of pressing the button. Who influenced him? All of you. So next time that there's an option, see that remote, what is option? Quanta irka. COANDA. You press that, flap will go up. Then you will not get the air directly to you. Okay, ma? On pannunga. For me, this heat is very unbearable. Anaconda mode. Done? We made a mistake. That is all 2 ton AC. 2 ton, 4 ton. This is 1.5 ton AC. Over. Trial balance is tallying or not tallying? Tallying. Just because the trial balance is tallying here, it is not necessary that in the rectified trial balance that you're preparing, it should tally. Sometimes it will not tally there also. Cooling mode. This tallying? Okay. Lucky in this question, after the corrected trial balance, both the total is matching. It is not possible all the ways. Sometimes the balance will not match. In that case, what are you supposed to do? You are helpless. This donkey fellow gave you only the trial balance. Difference is coming. How will you know what difference this is? Did you prepare accounts? No. So in that case, you'll place the difference in suspense account. Suspense account. Sir, they've given notes here, sir. Should we write this? No. Institute was feeling very bored. Don't know what to do. Chumma, they've written it. Donkey fellow, you have to write this. For this, you'll get mark. You have to give explanation. Dues from customer is asset. So it is what balance? Debit balance. This will carry quarter mark. Correct? No? So note 1 to 6 you write, leaves 6 lines. You'll take this as homework. 6 lines not sufficient. Leave 12 lines because each line will come for 2 in your notebook. So leave 12 lines. This will be your homework. I'm repeating one more time. Listen to me very carefully. Whenever such question comes in exam, in this question, you're lucky that when you prepare the revised trial balance, both the sides total still end up being same. Sometime it will not be same. Difference will be there. Either debit will be more or credit will be more. In that case, you have to place the suspense account wherever there is a shortfall. Wherever there is a shortfall. For instance, this is the trial balance. Multiple transactions recorded here. Total is 59,000 here. Total is 60,000 here. Trial balance tallying or not tallying? This is the rectified trial balance. Rectification done to the extent of trial balance what I have. I did not do the entire auditing. I did not do the entire checking. You told me that I gave you a trial balance. Whether the balances are right or wrong, you tell me. As per modern rule, we rectified the trial balance. As per modern rule, we got this trial balance. And now the total is 59,000 and 60,000. Tallying or not tallying? Not tallying. So there is some mistake. There's some mistake while posting or in journal. Somewhere some mistake has happened. That only by checking the accounts we'll get to know. Till that, what I should do? I should tally the trial balance artificially by inserting suspense account. Suspense account, where will I insert? So wherever there is a shortfall, where is the shortfall? Debit side 1,000. I'll put suspense account. Now this becomes 60. Ensure that by the time you complete your accounts, by the time you finalize the accounts, by the time you file the income tax returns, you find out where the mistake is, rectify the mistake by reversing the suspense account. Any account with the suspense in it, any account having the suspense in it, any balance sheet having suspense in it, that account cannot be relied upon. That account is not reliable. It is not transparent. Something is wrong inside. That is why suspense is coming. If everything would have done properly, suspense will not come. If suspense is coming, something is wrong in the financial statement. Banker will not provide a loan with the suspense account in the balance sheet. So please be very careful. Never ever file the income tax returns with the suspense account in it. Always try to rectify it. Okay. Illustration number 5. Can I go forward? Online people, can I go forward?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many questions are there in total? Oh, this is GST. Yeah, wonderful. Leave it now. I'll do after GST. That's all. Oh my God. Finished. Okay. Now what I'll do is, I will stop this recording. I'll start a fresh recording. Unit 1, 2, 3. I'll discuss true and false MCQ with you right now. Okay. We can do that. Okay. Online people, all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those who are watching
Yes.
recorded classes, my future students. Whoever is watching, I'm ending the video here. I'll start a fresh video where I'll be discussing unit 1, 2, 3. Ka, true and false, and MCQ. Okay. Bye.